G'day guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Wildkard. Fijian Drua versus Moana Pasifika in their home away from home Western Sydney. This was the game that I was very curious to see. The two new teams added into Super Rugby Pacific in 2022 going head to head. Two Islander teams. You know it's going to be hard hitting. You know it's going to be good, solid, big running game out of both teams. And we kind of got that a little bit this game. There is a little bit of a mistake. You can tell there's a lot of pressure on both teams. And that pressure was, managed in different ways by both teams. And in the end, the Fijian Drua was able to overcome the pressure cooker and come out 34 points to 19, winning the match. Huge turnaround from the last week loss against Hurricanes, especially. They were pretty much out of the game for the entire duration. This one, the Druas didn't fall apart, kept together. The Moana Pasifika had a huge comeback in the second half, put Drua under a lot of pressure, and the Druas were just throwing away penalties left and right, and the Moana Pasifika was, again and again failed to execute, not getting over the line, dropping the ball. Just, that little bit of polish is missing for the Moana Pasifika to put this one away. So the game started off with some pretty special opening. It was Nabole versus the hopefully I'm pronouncing this correctly, Barai, basically the Moana Pasifika Wardans, the Haka, and this was led by Sakopi Kepu. Man, that was good. I was seeing Kepu calling this war dance for the Moana Pasifika was absolutely, I had hair standing up behind my back. That was awesome to see. And then the Fijian Drua responded with their Nabole. Was really good stuff. And the game, like I was saying, the game kind of kicked off with Drua just showing something that's, this is should be trademarked, right? Fijian Drua trademark style of rugby, just open. They're the Druas is basically probably one of the best, if not the best team. I think the Fijian team in general, one of the best team, if not the best team in the world, at open field scrappy play. There were so many opportunities that the Druas generated just from chaos, just from a bit of a knock on by the opposition, bit of a missed passes, and a bit of chip kick, and suddenly the ball bounces on the ground. The Drua opens up the game and then scores a try on the other end with their speed and their just balls, their skills being able to recoup those balls, recover those loose balls. Just tremendous display. Even the hooker, the reserve hooker, shot a bit of chip and chase and got the ball back. It was unbelievable display. This should be trademark, the Fijian style trademark. Open field, scrappy, loose ball play style. It was just unbelievable to watch. Really good. And also the kicking game from the Druas, much improved once again from last week. And this will be another trademark for the Fijian kicking style. They don't play the high ball from the South Africans. They don't play, territory like the Brumbies, right? They play the style of the Fijian Drua that they know they're good at, which is the ball on the ground, loose ball on the ground, chip and, grab a kick and chase, recover that loose ball better than anybody else, using their speed, using their ball skills to beat the opposition, to get those opportunities to score tries. Just unbelievable stuff. And the Fijians are the best team in the world right now. I don't even know if an international team can do as good as the Fijians. Just grab a kick behind and be able to recover that grab a kick better than I've never seen a team done it so well, to be quite frank. And also Fijians, unlike last week, clearly just faltered under the pressure. The team sort of given up last week against the Hurricanes. Early on in the game as well. This game, the Fijians were under a tremendous amount of pressure in the second half. The Moana Pasifika put a lot of pressure on the Fijian Drua. The Fijian basically came out with a 24 points lead. It was 24 to 12 lead. And then the Moana Pasifika came out in the second half just piling on pressure. And the Druas just throwing away penalties. And I started to get that feeling that maybe the Druas going to throw another one away. It was looking like the pressure was starting to build. But the leadership by the returning captain stepped up, stabilized the situation, kept the Moana Pasifika out in the danger zone again and again. And just do what they do best. Play those loose balls, capitalizing those opportunities, forcing those errors, and being able to score points on the other end as in return. Beautiful stuff. Moana Pasifika, on the other hand, big improvement from their discipline from the previous weeks. This week, there actually has, again, really good discipline this week, unlike previous week where they had like almost, close to 20 penalties a game. Like the average was like 14 penalties per game. This game, under 10 once again. Really, really good improvement there. But the ball handling or under pressure was just not exactly as crisp as you would like to be for Moana Pasifika. The set piece, the structure of the attack by Moana Pasifika was actually really, really good. It's just the handling, the decision making was good. The handling, the pressure was not just, lacked a little bit of, I think some of the players just need a bit more game time to get those situations handled under control. And also the Moana Pasifika has that line out more set piece packed down really well, which was really good to see. The Druas was able to defend it, but the Moana Pasifika's line out more was like, especially in the second half, was starting to look like a threat that could potentially, steal the game from the Honduras in the dying couple minutes. But yeah, in the end, this was a super entertaining game. So some really interesting stats here. Fijian Drua 636 run meters. This is like the All Blacks versus USA level of run meters. That's huge. Over the Moana Pasifika 460. At halftime, the run meters were 269 to Drua, 279 to the Moana Pasifika. So Moana Pasifika had more run meters at halftime, and this is the stat that's really interesting as well. At halftime, Moana Pasifika had 67 carries to Fijians 31. So they have more than double the carries, which means they have more than double the ball essentially, and they were 24 points to 12 behind. Yeah, so the Honduras were able to really capitalize those open field opportunities, just score points when they with the limited opportunity they had. Some of them in the back end of Moana Pasifika mistakes that was forced upon them. So obviously the turnovers conceded, Moana Pasifika, 22 to 11, conceded 22 turnovers, and at halftime it was pretty even. 6 turnovers against Fiji, 8 turnovers against Moana Pasifika. So Moana Pasifika conceded 14 turnovers in the second half. So that is a huge bummer to them, and something that that's like a critical piece of information to their downfall here today. Tackle count, pretty even stuff. Missed tackle, pretty even stuff as well. Kicks in play, like I said, you never really see Fijian out-kick another opposition. They're usually the team that runs the ball from inside their own half, trying to play those open field plays to get themselves across the finish line. But they actually have more kickings than the Moana Pasifika, 21 kicks to 13. And a lot of those kicks are just those little grubber kicks behind. They know what they're good at. They know their speed. They know what they can do with open field play. So they just do those little kicks behind, recover the ball, and really able to open up the game a lot. And a huge improvement as well for the Fijians in their lineout. Only one lineout that was lost. Like in previous week, the Drua lineout was just so bad to a point where it was like unplayable. They had to like avoid lineouts. But this week was like those issues was just not even, it wasn't even there anymore. So it was really good to see the improvement. The Moana Pasifika had a lot of lineout opportunities just due to the penalties that was given away. A lot of set piece lineouts. Lost 4 of them. Not as good as you want, but just the sheer amount of pressure they're under as well. Just again, a lot of these lineout errors was just handling errors as well. 16 penalties considered for Fijian Honduras. This was a huge penalty count for the Fijians, and 7. The numbers kind of reverse. Usually Moana Pasifika is like 16, so they dropped themselves down to 7. Huge improvements there. Really good discipline. Much better for the Pasifika, and Fijians under pressure was giving away so many penalties, but they were able to hold due to just really good effort to be able to hold on to that lead. So quickly go through some of the key points, maybe key plays in the game. So the game kind of started off, both teams are just going back and forth a bit, trading hard hits. It took 5 minutes for the Fijians to get their first try on the ball. The Fijians building some pressure, and just a nice little inside ball to their number 12. Hiwaru runs in for like a nice little angle, crashes in for the first try for the Fijian Drua 5 minutes into the game. Fijian up 7 points to 0. 2 minutes later, Fijians was under pressure by Moana Pasifika inside their own half. And then they just, again, a little bit of loose pass, ball hits the ground, scoops up, Hambosi, the fastest man on the field, and he flies down the field. He was gone. Flies down the field, 45 meters, 50 meters, or something like that. Try time for the Endurers. Second try on the ball, 14 points to 0, less than 10 minutes. And then suddenly, both teams start struggling with a little handling a little bit, a lot of ball going to the ground. On the 12th minute, Moana Pasifika finally gets himself back on the board. There was a nice little line out set up from inside the Fijian 22. The just little more going forward. And the number 7, the big man, he has the ball, sees the train tracks open, takes a run down the sideline. You see one defender behind him, just runs him over. The commentators call this the Samoan step, where you step straight into the player and he runs him over and he goes in for the try. 7 points to 14. The Pacifica team comes back for a try. On the 24th minute, Fijian gets a penalty, kicks 3 points, 17 points to 7. On the 27th minute, the Moana Pasifika was again piling on pressure in the Fijian Druas, got really, really close, and and then the ball just gets popped up off the ground and just drops the ball before the try line. Yeah, and there was some really good run from Havili. There was a really good scrum set up from the Moana Pasifika as well. But just in the end, little pop-up ball, wasn't able to hold on. Drop ball, no try. On the 31st minute, the Fijians basically, once again, was defending the Moana Pasifika attack. It was like a 60-meter out line out for the Moana Pasifika team. Not 60 meter. It was a 40-meter line out inside the Fijian half, essentially. The Fijian gets the ball. This was like a set play. This was like a set piece play by Fijian Drua. They get the ball out, all right? This is 60 meters out. Immediately, the ball goes to the 10, chip kick over, and the Voltava chases up, bit of juggle on the ball. The Moana Pasifika players was not expecting this to be like, pulled out from Fijians to pull out a play like this inside their own half. The ball bounces, he juggles ball in the air, catches it, goes in for the third try for the Endurers. Absolutely flying Fijians at this point. On the 36th minute, so then this was converted, 24 points to 7. And then on the 36th minute, finally Moana Pasifika starts to stabilize the situation. They get inside the Fijian Drua 22, goes for a line out, sets up a more. There was a little. It was a nice little, nice little, nice little more. It wasn't going anywhere, but that doesn't matter. Ball comes out, goes just quick, good hands, long ball, and Paul goes into the corner for the second try for the Pacifica. Suddenly the score is back 24 points to 12. And then the game, just before halftime, Moana Pasifika looked like they scored again. Piling on pressure, just trying to finish the half strong. There was again Fijian giving away penalties. The pressure starting to mount. 5 meter line out again goes for a more. The more didn't get through, but they got a penalty. It was not penalty advantage. The ball comes out again, spurted out wide, and the center did actually really well. He draws the last 2 players and managed to free the ball up for the winger. The winger goes in. I think it was Paul again. The winger goes in, and the last pass where he draws 2 players and passes to the winger. Forward pass, no try. So yeah, really, really close. Second half starts. The Moana Pasifika was just building on the pressure they left in the first half, trying really pinning the Fijian Druas in their own half. But again, the execution wasn't clean, so they were not able to score for a very long time. It took 56 minutes for Moana Pasifika to finally crack the defense inside the Endura half, going for a inside the 22. It kind of like same playbook again. Goes for a 22 meter. It was like a 22 meter line out. Goes for a more was collapsed illegally. Penalty advantage. Ball comes out. The Pacifica. I think this was still, yeah, this wasn't Christian in I wasn't yet. The Pacifica, Moana Pasifika 10, let's just get his name up, maybe. Lincoln McClutchy, crossfield kick. This was pinpoint accurate, like satellite navigation thing, right? Pinpoint, and then the Fijian Drua last defender was literally like you know, like a fingertip away from getting the ball. Not just goes over straight in the breadbasket on the winger. Tava Nawai goes in for the try into the corner for Moana Pasifika. They pull themselves back 24 points, 19, 57th minute. And then Fijians, on this part, it looked like the Fijians could be cracked. The 3 tries apiece for both teams. Scores are really getting really close. And then the Fijians just really trying to, stabilize the situation. On the 67th minute, finally, they give themselves penalty. They kick the 3 points, pull themselves slight ahead again. And finally, they are just like the Fijians were just, you can see it that the players just managing the pressure, giving them penalties, but still trying to manage the pressure. Finally, on the 69th minute, the Fijian Druas kind of put this one away. They stabilized the situation. The stabilized situation. The Fijian Drua gets themselves in a bit of an attacking opportunity. The number 12 looks up at the rock. He picks up the ball and just darts down the field for a nice little run. He gets tackled short. Couple quick balls. The number 13 outside center gets a crash ball. Volta punches himself through for the second try for himself and the 4th try for the Honduras. Suddenly the gap is opened up again. 34 points to 19 with 10 minutes left for the Pacifica. For Moana Pasifika to try to come back. But yeah, the Honduras was just able to absorb pressure. On the 80th minute, Moana Pasifika was running out of time. It looked like they were just trying to make it some play, and there was again another loose ball. Fijian Drua goes in, scoop up the ball. I think it was Hambosi maybe, runs down the whole length, like half length of the field, goes in for a try. Everybody's celebrating, but the referee comes back and look. The loose ball was a result of one of the Fijian Drua players pushing one of the players back, so the player didn't have the ball, and then he pushed him, so he couldn't recover. He couldn't pick up the ball on the ground properly. So that was a penalty. But yeah, that was another, again, just loose balls on the ground. The Honduras really able to manage that quite well. And in the last 10 minutes as well, one of the Fijian, the reserve hooker coming on the field, did his own chip and kick, showing that he can do everything the wingers can do as well. I think it was Molly, comes on and just did a bit of chip and kick and chased it down, grabbed the ball himself as well. Really, really, really good stuff. Highly entertaining, high pressure game. I thought this was quite entertaining. I thought it was a little bit scrappy, but overall, I did feel the pressure for the Fijian Honduras, and I thought they really managed it quite well. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Thanks for watching this video. I do appreciate it. See you guys a bit later for the big game tonight. I think Reds versus Blues, Eden Park. See you guys. Thanks for watching.